Hi guys, I start off this weekly meal vlog by using this package of defrosted chicken thighs. I'll be making some peanut chicken noodles as well as a meal prep for my husband. I will add a link to the peanut chicken noodle recipe video that I have, and I will leave that down in the description box below. So here I still have some leftover cabbage from the pozole. So we're obviously going to be using this up first. And we also have some of this bell pepper that's still in good condition from the New Year's cheese board that I made. So this is still crunchy. There's no mold on it. Everything's fine with it. So I'm also going to throw that in the dish I'm going to make along with another bell pepper that I bought. So we'll be adding these two, this, and some more of that red cabbage that I bought earlier. And this is what I love about these kinds of recipes. It's that I can reuse the ingredients. I've been really into red cabbage lately. I've been using them as the basis for my salads, so it's a really good ingredient to have on hand. Lasts really well in the fridge, so that's why I kind of made this recipe as well. I try to think ahead, like what else I can do with the ingredients that are already in my recipes. So that is the reason I'm making this dish right now, because I had most of the ingredients already on hand. This peanut noodle recipe calls for fresh bell peppers and cabbage, and like I told you guys, I will be using leftovers from my fridge. I will use half of the chicken that I defrosted. I also found some cilantro and onion, so I will throw that in there as well. The sauce is easy to make since it requires basic pantry items like peanuts, peanut butter, garlic, lemon, soy sauce, and sesame oil. All you need to do is add these ingredients to the blender. So like I had told you guys, I try to plan out my husband and I's meals. We try to think out what I'm gonna do for like lunch and dinner, and breakfast is kind of like a variable, so I just kind of focus on lunch and dinner. And I have some discount cookbooks. This one I got it for $2.99 at Ollie's when I lived in Maryland. You know, if you can find cookbooks on discount, or if you just go to any sort of thrift store, try and pick up a couple of cookbooks that are, you know, in decent price that you can grab ideas from to help you make things. Sometimes I don't know why, but I just completely blank out, and I'm sure this happens to a lot of us. You just blank out and you don't know what you're going to cook, and you're forced to just kind of like wing it, or just make unnecessary purchases, or get takeout when you could have just thawed out some meat that you had in your freezer, or, you know, used a little bit of creativity to make a meal. I just love to read cookbooks. I like to look at them and see all the different kinds of ideas, especially when they have photos. So I'm not actually gonna make this word by word. I just saw the picture and I saw, okay, Italian sausage, butternut squash. So I'm gonna make something like this, a deconstructed version of this. And it was just as simple as that, just as simple as looking at this cookbook and then maybe borrowing a bit from the technique here. I remembered that I have a butternut squash that's been sitting in here for a while. I don't know why I haven't used it. I don't even remember why I got it in the first place, but I remembered I had it and I want to make sure that I use it. Also, my pantry is looking like a mess and I need to really organize it. I'll make a video for you guys so that you guys can see my organizing process. I had a system, but I don't know what happened. So yes, that video will be coming out soon. But yes, I kind of just wanted to share my thought process on things on tips that have helped me before. So, you know, a cookbook is a good way to start to get ideas. I have this little notebook in which I write down recipes that I saw and that I liked. I just have like recipes to make, and I put page numbers. So if I'm feeling out of ideas, I kind of just go to this page. This is a new book that I got, new little notebook. So barely filled out, but I have a couple of cookbooks that I'm gonna sit down and take the time to look over and just, you know, write down things that I could make. And like I had shown you guys, I defrosted these earlier. I also need to clean my stove, I know, but I'll clean it soon. Anyways, so I had grabbed these on discount the other day, and something that I've been practicing and that I've heard from another YouTuber is that she likes to shop her pantry first. So what that means is, first look at what you have in your pantry, first look at what you have in your freezer, in your fridge, and kind of work backwards in your meal planning. That way you're not thinking from scratch like, oh, what should I make? What ingredients do I need for whatever recipe? You know, you can always just, like I said, work backwards. So look first at what you have on hand, and then if you remembered something, like for example, this recipe that I saw for the butternut squash Italian sausage thing, it was a quick decision for me because I knew I had it. I had seen the photo and it was really easy to think of it, you know, for it to come up together. So that's something that I've been incorporating, and I feel like it's been helping me a lot. So here's what it looks like. I accidentally to take care of the butternut squash, so it is a bit on the overcooked side. It was supposed to have a bit more of a structured look to it. I went ahead and added the sausage afterwards because I thought that the butternut squash would take longer to cook, but it didn't really take that long, so next time I'll be doing it the other way around. I haven't really cooked with butternut squash too much, so we're learning here. But yes, so I added some purple cabbage that I had to just to brighten it up a little bit. This is going to go with some rice. I will be using up the leftover chicken to make lunch meal prep for my husband. I am using some leftover bacon fat from the weekend. I always save the fat to use it to cook other things in. We had made some pancakes with some bacon as a side, so I just strained the bits and pieces from it and saved it in this tiny plastic tub. A couple of days ago, I made my husband some shake and bake, and this was the mashed potato that was left over from it. I had made some chicken thighs with that shake and bake packet. I had never heard of that before, but apparently it's just breadcrumbs and seasoning. So my husband had requested that, and I decided to use up some leftover potatoes that I had for a while. They were starting to grow some sprouts, and I didn't want to leave them in my pantry any longer. I think they were left over from the New Year's, so I wanted to use those up. And the quickest thing that I came up with was mashed potatoes, but now I have mashed potatoes as a side, and that's why I'm making this chicken to go along with it. And I have some frozen Brussels sprouts and some bacon, I believe. From this past weekend, I had made some pancakes and bacon, so I will be making some Brussels sprouts with bacon because my husband doesn't really like vegetables, so I'm trying my hardest to incorporate some good tasting vegetables so that he can keep asking for them. I don't want him to, have a bad relationship with vegetables, so that's why I'm going to be adding the bacon to the Brussels sprouts because they're a very good combination. So that is what I will be batch cooking for the next couple of days. That will be our lunch, that chicken with mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts. Here's the chicken thigh, Brussels sprouts, peas, bacon, and mashed potatoes. It looks cute because I use my ice cream scooper. This was pretty hard to scoop up with a regular spoon, so this was a lot easier. That's why it looks all cute, because I use this. And thanks for watching. I will see you in next week's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already.